I wanted to go a little bit more in depth before. I want to go a little bit more in depth when I talk about. Sorry about that. Make sure everything's still working here. Okay. In general, when you're running Stam in Maelstrom, Stam's all the same, more or less. Like the same gear will work on literally every class, you know. Um, and the build I'm going to show you will work in Maelstrom for every stamina class you want to do. You're going to switch out a couple skills based on which class you are. You know, Nightblade, you're going to use surprise attack. Um, Templar, you're going to use jabs. You know, other classes, you're going to use flurry, whatever. I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to run for this specific run. The first set that you want to run on a stamina class in Maelstrom is Vicious Ophidian. Now you can get this in Sanctum Ophidia, or you can get this in Hellraw Citadel. Hellraw Citadel is by far the easiest way to get it. This is an easy set to get. All you have to do is just have a DPS. You know, I think you need maybe like 25k DPS tops to beat Hellraw. Go into Hellraw Citadel, farm this, get yourself 5 pieces, and then build around it. Typically, the way I have it is I have it as 3 jewelry, 2 body pieces, both divines. But yeah, weapon crit, minor slayer at all times. That works against boss monsters, so boss fights in Maelstrom are going to melt, more crit, more weapon damage, and then you reduce the cost of your stamina abilities by 8%. When you kill an enemy, you restore 2,000 stamina, and you get Major Expedition. So you just fly around the battlefield with Vicious Ophidian in Maelstrom. It's very useful for high score runs, very, very valuable. But yeah, 3 jewelry, 2 body, and then the other set that I run is 5 Night Mother's Gaze. So I run 3 body pieces divines, and then I run 2 daggers. So the Nern dagger and the infused dagger. You can run 2 sharp, but it doesn't really matter. This is a little bit better than Hundings. You can run Hundings if you want. You could run Spriggans if you want. If you get your hand on Twice Fang Snake, that's good as well. That's a lot more farming, but I mean, I know I've seen plenty of scores this patch where people are posting 590k plus with Night Mother's Gaze. So it's not like you can't. Your skill level in VMA means a lot more than for the score run than you know, Twice Fang being slightly better than Night Mother's. So definitely, all you have to do is craft this, and then for the 2-piece, it's Veladreth. Veladreth is just so good in there. The spores will one-shot some ads. You really just line it up. It's really easy to do. Yeah. And then Sharpened Maelstrom Bow. This is just the best DPS for Stam in the game. Yeah. As far as skills go, it's going to be pretty standard, but this is going to be applicable to every Stam class. But Endless Hail, Razor Caltrops. This is Noxious Breath for a Stam DK. I normally put Trap here for other classes. I put Trap on my back bar because I put other things on my front bar. But I would put Trap here for other classes. Poison Injection, and then I have Vigor here typically for other classes, but this is what I've been using in trials, so this is what I'm used to. Here, you can use Standard of Might, or you can use Bow Ulti. Bow Ulti is very powerful for single target boss kills. You know, I'm pretty sure I have the skill points. Yeah, you want to use Ballista. So this is very valuable. This will melt bosses. Very good for really trying to push out DPS. If you don't want to use that, and you're having a hard time with some ad pulls, Standard of Might is very useful because it gives all your dots do more damage. You also take less damage while you're in it, and sometimes people complain that Stam's a bit too squishy, so you can use Standard of Might. It's not going to be as bursty as Ballista, but you can use that. Front bar, it's a very typical trial style setup. You can run Flawless Dawnbreaker. What I have found in general, though, for VMA runs where you're really just trying to get like Flawless Conquer or Dawnbreaker on your front bar, it does a shit ton of damage and it heals you. This is just as much damage as the bow, well, almost as much damage as the bow ulti, and on top of that, you get a huge amount of healing outside of that. So when you're fighting these bosses, this will keep you up. Very useful. Then I have Vigor on my front bar, Trap, Rending Slashes, Deadly Cloak, and Venomous Claw. Now, this is for trials. This is kind of the rotation I run for trials. So how you adjust this is you can take Rending Slashes off your bar, and you can put Steel Tornado here. You want to keep Deadly Cloak. Deadly Cloak is your friend. It makes you not squishy in most situations. This is just so strong, it's hard to take off your bar. Now remember, this was going on my back bar, so we put Rearming Trap back there. And then Vigor was also going off my bar, so we could put Flurry here, we could put Noxious Breath here. So Flurry would be your spammable for this build. Noxious Breath would be another dot, and then Steel Tornado is just for clearing ads. That's the way I would probably do it. Either run Rend or Bow Ulti, and then Steel Tornado, Noxious Breath, and Bloodthirst or Blood Craze, whichever one heals you when you poke somebody a million times. Yeah, so that's the better way to build this, for sure. But we're going to play this, once again, like I told you before, we're going to play this like I have never done Maelstrom before, so I'm just going to put a bow on the back bar, and we're going to run a one-piece Sheer Venom. We're going to keep our Night Mothers, because that's crafted. I can craft that at any point. I can find a buddy to find it. Veladreff's hard to get, so we're going to take that off. But we are still going to put a good monster set on, because Krogs is pretty easy to get. And instead of running Vicious Ophidian, we're going to run 5 Spriggans. So we're just going to switch this around really quick. Put our Spriggans on. Now keep in mind, guys, like when you look at my jewelry, like this is just what I had on me. I'm running Recovery enchants on all of my jewelry at the moment. And now, when we look at our stats, our stats aren't bad. We have 38,000 stamina, 2584 weapon damage unbuffed, which is pretty good, 50% crit, 16.5k health. Now, when you do VMA, you want to have 16, 17, 18k health on a Stam build. I normally shoot for around 17. That's why I'm running this dual stat food with all recovery enchants at the moment, because it gives me a little bit more health. You can do it with less. Like I did Flawless on my Nightblade with like 15k health, and I really don't know. Like I just killed everything. I knew how to do everything. I had Vicious Ophidian. But when you don't know how to do this, like I went in there on my Stamplar, I had 18,000 health. And people are going to go, oh, well, you're sacrificing stamina for health. Your DPS is going to go down. It's going to go down a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. Like your DPS isn't going to matter if you're dead. So get yourself to 16 to 18k health so that when you get hit by something, you can react. And then as you get better, you guys can take those points out of health and then put them into stamina and then increase your damage and then, go for high score runs. But you're not going to be able to go for high score runs until you figure out, what the hell you're doing in there, in my opinion. So we're at 1455 health. We're running the dual stat food. If you find that your recovery isn't good enough with dual stat, I'm running 3 recovery glyphs at the moment, so I have 1455 stamina recovery. If you find that this isn't enough, you could switch your Mundus Stone, or you could run Dubious Cameron Throne. Dubious Cameron Throne is a good way to go about doing it. We're going to lose a little bit of health. I think I have a piece of Dubious on me. Let me put it on really quick. I do not. Oh man, I'm messing up. But I'd lose about 1.5 to 2k health if I remember correctly. So 1.5, I'd drop down to 15k. That's why I kept the dual stat, because it keeps me at 16.5, which is just enough. My recovery is going to be a little bit low, and you guys will see that. That's why I'm running more of a trial style setup. So I'm running Dawnbreaker. I'm running all hit. Like DK is nice in that we have access to so many damage over time effects. All we have to do is apply them, do a bunch of heavy attacks for our sustain, and then they tick. So this class isn't going to have burst, but if we're patient, everything's just going to melt. And so you guys will see that my heavy attacks are just going to do a shit ton of damage. You're going to see that on the boss fights. Once all my dots get ticking, it's just going to melt. Classes like the best Stam classes in here, in my opinion, are Stamplar, Stam Nightblade, and Stam Sork. They just fly around. Stam Sork has unlimited sustain with Dark Deal. Stam Nightblade has so much burst, and Stamplar is very similar to Nightblade, but they also have sustain through Repentance. You know, you can just repent bodies and just fly around and kill everything. So those classes are all a little bit harder, are a little bit easier than Stam DK in my opinion. But the nice thing about a Stam DK is not many people are completing VMA on a Stamina Dragonite, or a Dragonite in general. Now, if you guys watched my video last week where I struggle bust through doing a Magicka DK for the first time in 10 months with shitty gear, you saw that I put up like a 450k score, which isn't good. You know, I've definitely done a lot better than that on my Magicka Dragonite. But because nobody really completes it, I got a reward from the coffer, and then I got the weekly reward from the leaderboard rewards, because I just automatically place in the top 100 because I got a score. That's just kind of what happens on DKs. Like if we go, like I showed you this before, but if we go and we look at the all-time weeklies, we see that the top people are very good. But when we get down in the 25 range, the 25th best score here is 552. And I'm not calling this guy out, I'm just saying that that's the 25th best score for a DK. If we go to Sork and we look at what the 25th best all-time score is, we're going to see that it's going to be a lot higher. It's 23,000 points higher for a Sork than it is for a Dragonite, because it's just so much easier to do on a Sork. If we check the Nightblade, it's going to be the exact same thing. Like the best players in here, see 579. The best players in here are just very good at it, and it really doesn't matter what class they're doing because they just know what to do. But you know, for us mere mortals that hover around like these types of scores, you know, it just shows like which classes are a little bit more capable of getting you those high score runs and which ones are not. So yeah, that's going to be the end of my talk. So we were running Night Mothers and we were running Spriggans, and we're going to go into VMA on a Stam class and just kind of show how we're going to do our runs here. Now, like I said, you normally use Flurry, you normally use Steel Tornado, but that's with Vicious Ophidian. If you want to just get a complete, I would run something a little bit more like this. You'll keep more damage than you would with Dubious, and I don't know, it's just being able to DPS bosses really quick is still fun for me, so I'm going to do that. But in general, in VMA, when you have Vicious Ophidian, you could just fly around the map, you kill stuff. You drop down a low health. Steel Tornado basically counts as an execute. You hit one thing of Steel Tornado, everything dies, go on to the next pull. And then you're super fast, you're basically at full resources. This is going to be a little bit harder intentionally, because we're not going to be at full resources all the time. We have to pay attention to what we're doing. So I'm going to attempt to talk the entire time about this, and attempt to do as well as I can, so that, you know, it's good content for you guys.
Likely candidate now. Do you suppose this one has what it takes? Contain your hopes, but let's find out. Behold.
So we're gonna repair our gear. We're gonna sell anything that we have picked up along the way that we do not need. So I am a pack rat. I hold on to everything. Oh, we can sell these. Alright. So, we're good to go. Take our food. Make sure we have potions. Now, the biggest thing for Stam, and it's just like Magicka, Sork, or any other class, you have to know how you survive. With this class, how you survive, or with this class or with any other class, a stamina class, how you survive is Deadly Cloak and Vigor. The minute you start taking damage on a Stam class, you have to pop Vigor. And that takes a little getting used to for people, because they don't... Oh, so basically what we're going to do, we're just going... I am super laggy. I might have to... That guy over There's gonna die. Yeah, so we're just gonna do a bunch of full heavy attacks, and then we're going to do full heavy attacks and poison injections into portals because they do so much damage. You want to drop your trap. That guy's dead. I could have done a poison injection here, but I messed up. But yeah, you can see my damage isn't bad with Spriggans. You know, it's not that Spriggans is bad, it's very good. It's just sustain and damage with VO is just so strong.
Another skeleton for the tree.
That guy's dead. Full heavy attacks, get our stand back. Now we have our standard of might. And just like every other class, it's all about dropping your dots. Dropping your dots, and then just going through and applying them all. Took some damage there. He's going to move. Not the best. He'll die right here, though. And he's dead. But yeah, Stam DK is kind of crazy. You can see that I'm not wearing the best gear, and I'm wearing a lot of recovery, and it's just all those dots start ticking and stuff just melts. So that's why I'm running it this way, because I'm going to use a lot of heavy attacks anyways, so my sustain's going to come from that way. Instead of running flurry and doing that whole route, I'm going to just do... That'll allow me to sustain it anyways. This round you want to... This round always makes stamina classes very frustrated, for good reason, because these blades are just a pain in the ass. You want to try and keep your flurry up, or your deadly cloak up, because it's just going to give you so much damage mitigation. It's going to make it a lot easier to survive in here. Oh, we're a little mini boss. Okay, well, my bigger went off, but it didn't show it, and that's it. In between rounds, you can activate the switch, shut it off, give yourself a little reprieve. If you see your stamina get low, do not use your caltrops. Your caltrops are super expensive. See right here, I'm not going to drop my caltrops. Plus, it's a lower health guy. Avoid the... Got my standard. Everything else is going to come in. Now you wouldn't use Molten on a DK if you had Vicious Ophidian, but we're stacking into heavy attacks because we're not using Vicious Ophidian at the moment. I think I'm going to switch to Rend after this. Gonna do a bunch of heavy attacks, get my stam back, do a full heavy poison injection here, and we're onto the boss fight already. Oh, I messed up. This one I'm not going to use my caltrops because now the ridiculous thing about Stam melee classes is your range for hitting these targets is so large. Like, I'm gonna mess around here. I'm hitting this guy from here. So you can hit these guys. Like, you'd think, oh, I'm melee, I have to be up and close and personal. You really don't. I'm gonna dodge roll that. I'm gonna drop my standard right here. Behind him. This guy should die right here. Now we're in kind of a weird spot. He's dead. And we're done. Yeah, just be patient. Keep an eye on your stam. Keep your deadly cloak up. How we're going to survive is we're going to... Vigor is our heal, and deadly cloak is a huge damage mitigation thing. And so we want to make sure we have enough stam for that. So if you see yourself at 30% health, don't throw caltrops. You know, pop your vigor. Make sure you don't die, and make sure the next ad you kill... you know, you're doing full heavy attacks to return stamina. So this guy's doing a full heavy attack over there. I'm in green, so I don't really need to do anything about it. Health went down a little bit. Health went down a little bit again. Oh, I do not have my standard, so I'm just gonna wait. He's dead. Heavy attack. Full heavy attacks, we're at full stam now. Pop our vigor because we got a bunch of ads coming in. We're gonna just focus this guy. Come over here because we got this guy spamming us with stuff. We got this guy up, so we're going to drop our standard right here. Oh, by drop our standard, I mean apparently I'm going to Dawnbreaker. That was a mistake. Wrong bar. It's alright, he's dead. Animations are a little weird. That's okay. Pull them over here. on this before the final boss round. We're just gonna apply our dots. Keep our deadly cloak up. Do our heavy attacks. Over here. Now we're gonna wait till the second round. Flawless or bust. Okay. I'm gonna draw my standard on the first set of ad pulls. Get out of that. Oh. There goes the bust. Time to restart. I don't even know what killed me there. You jinxed me, Pioneer. We want to keep our vigor up for this guy, because he's going to just hit us really hard. Take out a couple of the ads since we don't have our ultimate anymore. We're in the green, we're good to go. Keep our deadly cloak up, and it's over. There we go. Haven't even been on yet, so it just isn't fun right now. Didn't I see you on a couple days ago? Like 3 or 4 days ago? Just been bored the... Our portal spawns here, we're gonna do full dots into the portal. Full heavy attack. Dot. Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't get into Fortnite. I do have Battlegrounds, but my buddies that play Battlegrounds, they're playing Fortnite right now for the XP right now. I know I said right now twice. I'm a little distracted. So I haven't really even been able to play that. So I've just been on this. Keep our vigor up. Avoid that. This guy's priority number 1. For that reason, I should have blocked it. God. Take out this ad really quick. We're gonna pull him over here. Oh, he's already on top of him. Good. Alright, this round these Dwarven Spheres are a bit of a pain in the ass, like they always are. Just keep your heals up, take them out first. The rest of these guys, just let them come into your dots. These other 2 spawn over here. He's dead. Here we're just gonna drop everything. Should get enough ultimate together, standard for the boss fight. Maybe not. Maybe that was a mistake. We'll see. Yeah, luckily I did explain why I'm not doing it right now. I've been trying to do runs with less optimal gear, so you'll see that I'm not running a Maelstrom bow. I'm not running Vicious Ophidian, and so because I'm not running Vicious Ophidian, it's a little bit harder to sustain, and so I'm just running a pure heavy attack build, which you can on a DK. You can't always get away with that on other classes, but DK is fun for that reason. So because I'm engaging in hard mode in other ways, I wanted to keep my DPS still decent because it makes it more fun for me at least. Oh, almost got. There we go. Now we get underneath him again. You brain dead tard. Excellent. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be too. It's over. I'm still laughing at the brain dead tard comment. That's good. For this round, we're just gonna drop our dots right here. Hopefully it starts. Jeez. You should definitely do that. He's not dead yet. Now to get the caster into the ice, you can back up, let him come into your dots. Now he's dead. Do volley. Caltrops at range, back up just a little bit so he stands in it. At the dodge roll right there. Is it going to be a redhead? It's got to be a redhead if you're going to name it that. Claps cheeks in my hands. Alright, this round we messed up a little bit. We're going to dodge roll. Get our dots on this guy. Make sure that guy doesn't just mollywop us like that. No, I've said it before. At any point in time, if you're having a hard time with a certain round, you know, it's just you're getting frustrated. Use the sigils. Defense sigil and the attack sigil are your friend. There's a lot of friends in here. Most of them aren't these ads. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Did I not pop my vigor? I didn't. That's frustrating. I'm popping Vigor and it's not going off. There we go. We might have recovered, we'll see. I don't think we did. I don't think we did, no. Arena 5 with no VO. Yeah.
Let's hope that this time it's more of a contest.
Like, why am I doing this to myself? I should just make a video on how to get Vicious Ophidian. So then I can go, yeah, once you have Vicious Ophidian, it's super easy. You just fly around and do this, this, and this.
Waiting for this.
I'm going to show you guys the best way to cheese these rounds. Oh. Oh, he changed his mind. That's not nice. We're going to back all the way up to the end of the ice. Get these guys on the ice. Shouldn't have used Caltrops there. Alright, we got a bunch of casters here right now, so we'll just come over here and we'll pick up the defense sigil. Now we don't have to worry about did it anyways. Drop our standard here. To the end of the ice. At some point my vigor will go off. There we go. So Pioneer, I don't know if you'll enjoy this, but I watched a guy on YouTube this last week. He put up 35k DPS with a bow build, and it was like, I've been wanting to do VMA with double bow for a while now, but I think he inspired me to actually give it a shot. So I don't know if that's going to be fun or frustrating. I think it's going to be fun initially because I'll be sniping stuff. I don't know if that's something you're interested in, but that's going to be my new cheesy thing to try this week. I don't know how the fuck I did that with no resources. You're still coming? I thought you'd get stunned too. Drop my standard right here because I gotta get my resources back. Put my dots down. Come over here. You can always just pick up the defense sigil. Put all your dots down since you're at full resources. Don't worry about the casters. Well, definitely worry about getting dizzying swing though. One more heavy attack and it's done. Alright man, take it easy. Put our dots down in the middle, because this is where the ads spawn. Now this stage, you want to get the Horvers and you want to uncover these totems. A group of spiders will come out that are basically unkillable. They are scared of the light though, so you just go to these totems when they're shining like this, and they don't do any damage to you. Should be coming up pretty soon, so I'm just gonna put my dots here. There it is. Come over here. We don't want to get stunned when we're outside of that. Got my standard. All my dots. In this round, it's all about keeping your vigor and your deadly cloak up, because there's going to be so many mechanics that will almost kill you. Like during the storm calling, if you see an ad with a mechanic that can put you on the ground, you want to either block it or just keep moving. The stuff moves very slow. Like this guy does a bunch of stuns on the ground, so you have to, like this big attack, you want to block that if you have the stam or you dodge roll it. We're going to block to get our health back up. Trying to get some stam back really quick. Put our dots down in the middle. Block that so we don't get knocked into the call lightning. These archers are gonna beat on us while we're trying to get away from the spiders. Drop our standard here because we're low on resources. We're gonna take a bunch of heat. It's the end of the round. Wrong button. Block that. Should be dead. We're gonna do a bunch of heavy attacks. Normally we put our dots down, but we're low on resources, so we'll just do a heavy plus dot, heavy plus dot. Apply all of our dots here. Block. Now we're on to the boss round. Apply our dots. Try not to get hit by that. That was... Okay. Kill the spider. She's going to summon another guy here shortly, so we're just going to wait. There we go. He's on the ground. Drop our standard right here. Kill everything. Standard should kill the Horver here, or the Lurcher. Yeah. Reapply our dots. It's over. Yeah, it's around 50% drops the Lurcher, so you want to DPS the boss right before 50%. You open up that last thing, put them all down on the ground, drop your ultimate, DPS her to 0. Pair our gear here. Go on to the next round. Alright, this round, you want to watch out for the poison plumes. They're going to pop up, or those things right there. You want to make sure at all times you're just staying away from them. If you walk over them, they'll go off. There is a summoner that will also make those go off. And so as long as you're away from them and you, like, when they initially start, you know to either kill the summoner or it won't affect you with poison. So just always knowing where you want your adds to drop, all of that. You know, just slightly maneuvering where you're going to get your kills. Like normally I jump right on that guy, but because he has a poison plume there, I'm going to take him here. Took some damage, so I'm pop my vigor, got him up, and he's dead. Round 2, we got 2 archers that spawn over to this side. We want to take out the archers first. It's the poison girl's #1 priority, and she's spawning way over there. See how the poison plume started popping up? Want to take her out first, and then all the other melee guys are super easy to kill. They have low health. These are the ones that will one-shot you, these archers. So just put down our dots right there, let them all come to us, and then, you know. Oh, CC broke, dodge rolled, excellent. Drop my standard. Oh, I missed it. He'll die anyways. Do our dots again. Let all the adds come in. See the summoner in the back. Take her out. Now this round I like to drop my dots on one archer, and then I DPS the other one at close range, because I want them to die at around the same time. Because then this one's a little bit easier to kill. Oh, we got a Venom Collar here too. That's going to make things a little bit more fun. Back up away from this, make sure that doesn't kill us. Make sure that doesn't kill us. And it's over. Kill the Venom Collar. And kill the Archer. Stout, I'm not sure if you're looking at PvP build, like all those builds that I have posted are PvP related. What I'm running right now is 5 Spriggans and 5 Night Mother's Gaze for VMA. We're gonna pick up the defense sigil because we just took a bunch of damage. We're very low on stamina. Yeah. So 5 Spriggans, 5 Night Mother's Gaze, and then 2 Krog is what I'm currently running. Not best in slot, but I just wanted to show like gear that's easy to pick up that you can run through VMA on. Alright, so that round was, I made a mistake and ran out of stamina. Got a little sidetrack there. Then Archer spawns over here. Just gotta watch out for that poison plume that's right there by him. Keep our resources up. Should kill it right here. There we go. Eliminated one really quickly. Makes fighting the other two much easier, especially when a Venom Collar comes up. Like that. Bash this. Our poison injection will kill him. 2 trolls. Focus 1. Once one's down, it's pretty easy to take out the other one. It's when they're both enraged where it gets to be a pain in the ass. Like this. Yeah. Go over here, he's gonna shoot a spit, put our dots down right here, drop our standard right away. Keep our vigor up. Block this, and wow, I blocked and it still killed me. How much did that hit me for? Staggering Stomp for 17k through block. Okay. Okay. Try that again. Put our dots over here. He's gonna shoot spit at us there. Block that. Block that. Dodge roll that. Okay. I thought she was gonna die due to the scream. It's annoying. See, I had the dot ticking on me pretty good. Gotta take her out first. He's gonna scream. Get underneath this guy. And it'll be just over right here with a couple heavy attacks.
must say.
Put our dots here. The ads come to us. Oh, he's not in that spot. I don't know why it does this. See, he just... That's such a dumb thing. And he's not there either? Wow. And he's gonna do it again. Dots down. Dots right here for these ads. Full heavy attack into this portal. Missed. I just decided to hit that for no reason, apparently. Wanted to make it harder. There we go. Got our... Block the dizzying swing. Take out the caster. You want to stay close to these guys because their crit rush is what really does a shit ton of damage. Take out this guy right away. Sometimes he's just not there, like that. I can bash him. It's the end of the round. This one, if you want to cheese, you pick up the defense sigil. There's a lot of casters in this part and a lot of stuff that's happening. These guys sometimes heal those people if you're not killing them quickly enough, so you just do that, kill him, and then these. Put our full dots down here, block the chains, kill this ad. I popped Vigor, and it didn't go off. Alright. I think it showed the animation of me having vigor too. That's weird. Okay. Well, sometimes this is laggy and sometimes you just die because things don't work properly. Like you just have a delay. You saw twice that the fire guy is not where he's supposed to be when I'm bashing. It happens, you know. This is part of the reason people like not the easiest content in the world, and when things aren't working, perfectly well, it makes it really hard for new players to try and get in here and do this stuff. So the main thing is just to don't worry about what happened, worry about what you have to do. Some of it's me needing to get good, like I'm not used to the recovery with this specific setup. I've never ran this specific setup in here. I'm just doing it for you guys. I also haven't been on my Stam DK in here in a while, so there's that. There's some needing to get good on my half as well, so some of it's just me just bitching and some of it's stuff I can't control. So we're going to keep we don't want to get dragged into that standard. We will let him hit our standard here in a minute. Drop our standard, pot him up. And he's dead. Now this round you want to have an ulti, which we're not going to have. And you can burn them rather quickly. Gotta take out these 3 totems. We're gonna drop our caltrops and all this right here. We'll have to go through this twice because I do not have a standard, and this guy is right here. Thought I dodge rolled that. It's alright. Oh. Try and get it off this. I would probably have to go through it 3 times. Yeah. It's always a mistake I do is on that 3rd totem I always forget to look for that guy shooting fire. And I didn't look for him soon enough. We could have had a very clean boss kill, but we didn't. So when you kill 2, this guy pops up and he shoots fireballs. To make it easier, you want to kill him first. If you don't kill him first, he does this while you're trying to kill the boss and you end up getting nuked. And he's dead. Alright, now we go into the final boss round. Now, it's not too hard to get to this point. There's a few stages that are hard, like the spider round the first time you do it, the ice round. When people get here, the rounds are typically harder for them, and it's mostly because they're so close to finishing and they get really amped up. It's just, you have to look at it step by step. Okay, what do I have to do this round to get my complete? This one you gotta watch out for the archers. The Nightblade has a crazy poison injection dot as well that you gotta watch out for. Or not poison injection, I'm sorry, soul tether. These DKs lock you in talons, like everything kind of hits a little bit harder. But the main thing is collecting these 3 ghosts. When you get the 3 ghosts, you can do Spectral Explosion, which then it's like the spider round where everybody gets stunned on the ground. And it makes the end of the round, the hardest part, very easy. So, keep in mind, like when you hear the ghosts, you want to line yourself in front of whatever humanoid or Daedra it's going to, so that you get it and not them. See, I popped a Vigor there, and see how it's not showing that my Vigor went off? There we go. See, now I have a Spectral Explosion. I'm going to save it, dot this guy up. We're just going to keep on picking up the Spectral Explosions here. We're going to watch out for that fire. Nightblade stunned us. Nightblades are just as fun in PvE as they are in PvP. Now we're going to use it right here. Now typically for these rounds you either use it for this stage or you use it for this stage. But because I have a standard, I'm going to drop my standard right here. And hopefully I can get my figure up and I dodge roll it into a ghost, which you don't want to do. The teleport strike really messed me up there. But you want to save your ultimate for one of those stages, you want to save your spectral explosion for the other one. It makes it a little bit easier. Don't dodge roll through ghosts. These guys do a shit ton of damage. So now that I showed you guys what not to do, now we'll do it the right way. Popped a vigor there, it didn't go off. There we go. Nightblade to the left, he's going to do that. We want to get him hit with a couple of dots before we go hit the explosion. We got one more coming. Now, if you don't have a spectral explosion like I do here, the best way to take out this guy is to kind of hug him. You avoid all the damage that way. Spectral explosion right here. You basically stand right next to him, and then you just let your dots do the work, and then you'll avoid most of the fire damage. And it's just a very easy way to kill that Daedroth. A lot of times people get frustrated and they just back up and they're stacking shields or they're trying to heal and it's not working, and then they get mad and just apply your dots, pop your vigor. Now this round you gotta watch out for. What round are we on? Oh, my enchantment went out. We're on this round, okay. Spire dots. This guy doesn't do a whole lot. He will dizzying swing you. He will pull you. Sometimes he'll pull you into that. You want to stay out of that. Now, I'm going to pop my spectral right here. Then I'll use my standard for the Daedroth round right after this. Let everything come to me. Got my dots. I dodged that. I don't know why that hit me. Round's over. This round you want to make sure that these summoners do not summon the guy in the middle because he's a big pain in the ass. Pop our spectral right here. That guy should be dead. You could pop this, but it's already dead, so we'll just move on. pop it right here. I'm lagging so hard and I'm just double spamming caltrops. Good way to just lose all the resources I had. Excellent. This round, this guy comes down, pick him up. Keep our dots up. Watch out for the big fireball. Come back, we're going to apply all of our dots in our standard. Because all these ads are going to pop up right here. Take him out first. Oh. Gotta bash this though. He's dead. Bash this. Hit that ghost for the fun of it. Now we're a little bit low on resources. We're close to the boss round, so we're just going to do a bunch of heavy attacks to get our resources back. I don't know why. Bash that. Alright, we should have our standard here. Why is... We'll drop our standard for the next pull. Step out of that. Alright, now we kill the Daedroth, come up here, kill the Clanfear on the portal. Now up here's a little bit harder for Stam classes because there's just going to be a non-stop dot on you. So you want to just keep your vigor up. Just keep moving because those fireballs are going to non-stop be hitting you. Like that. And when he goes up in the air like that, you want to get behind this thing. Dodge roll. You want to keep an eye on him, like when he winds back like that, that means he's about ready to shoot a fireball at you. He's going to do it again here. That. When you time your dodge roll, you can just avoid it like that. And then, in order to get behind this, you either run to it or you run back the other way. As it gets faster, it's easier to go the opposite way and chase it. Dodge roll that. Vigor's almost down. Now we gotta get to him and bash him before he starts shooting skulls at us. Then he's gonna do this, which we're gonna dodge roll. We're gonna pick up our... Try and pick up all the ghosts. The summoner, you have to worry about if your DPS isn't as high. We shouldn't have to worry about that at all. Gonna kill us is not popping vigor apparently. Gonna do that. And we got a ghost coming. He's got 148k health. Don't even need to use our ultimate. Round's over. Now we collect our reward. Now this will be good enough to get another weekly drop on Sunday if you're looking to farm stuff. And we got a Maelstrom Maul. So, for every Stam class, the main things are use Deadly Cloak, keep your vigor up when you take damage. You know, getting Vicious Ophidian makes it so much easier. I mean, I died 6 times without it. There are a lot of instances there where I probably wouldn't have because I just have so much better sustain. I really advise getting in and getting Vicious Ophidian, but if you guys just don't want to do PvE and you hate it and you want to beat it anyways, this is a good option for you. it'll allow you to get your completes, and as you get better, you know, your scores will get higher. So CP, I didn't even discuss that, did I? My bad. All right, so CP all depends on what your Mundus stone is. The Lover is better. The Lover Mundus is better in Maelstrom for solo, but ads have about 18,000 resistances. So you want to add up how much penetration you have on your overall character, so you're not over penetrating ads. So this gives us 3825. If we look at this, we're running a sharpened bow on the back bar. That's around 6,500 pen. We are also running Spriggans, which gives us another 33. So that's about 9,800 pen, 10,000, 11,200 pen, and then with this 13,800 pen with all of our gear that we are currently running. So our CP, we don't want to go over 4,500 roughly penetration in our CP tree. So the way I have mine set up, 34 Mastered Arms, 49 Mighty, 9 into Piercing, so we only have 900 in here, 66 Precise Strikes, 72 Thaumaturge for our DPS, and then 48 Ironclad, 49 Hardy, 49 Alley Defender, 47 Thick Skin. This is mostly for like trials and stuff. For VMA, you could take a lot out of Thick Skin and put it into Hardy and Alley Defender. Most of the ads are Magicka at the end. They do a lot of fire damage, so you could put a lot into here. 37 to Quick Recovery for our healing, 44 Warlord, 65 Mooncalf, 100 in Tenacity because our heavy attacks are restoring all of our stamina, 14 into Tumbling, 6 into Shadow Ward because we just had a few extra. So that's my CP for this. You know, it's very similar to all the other Stam classes. I'll try and, you know, set up later this week. Maybe I'll do Stamplar or Stam Nightblade without Vicious Ophidian as well, just to show you guys kind of what you do. Vicious Ophidian doesn't really give you more damage in these sets. It's the damage and sustain that just makes it so strong. And so getting in there and farming yourself a set, it's going to make it a lot easier for a Stam class. But, you know, I know some people just hate farming, so yeah. And that'll be it for this class.